Hi, welcome to Hot Mom's Dinner Club. Here we are today with Bin 2's recipes. Okay, so Bin 2 came in at $39. This one is even under $40, okay? So 4 meals, 4 people, this time under $40. So Bin 2 also, besides being incredibly inexpensive, it's also a very, very easy set of meals. Only one of them, the chicken pot pie, takes a little bit of time, but because it's homemade chicken pot pie, I think it's well worth it. So here are 4 meals for Bin 2. We're gonna start with grilled pork chops with just boxed mac and cheese and green beans and dinner rolls. The next meal is going to be homemade chicken pot pie served with a side salad and dinner rolls. And we're also gonna make some homemade red wine vinaigrette. Meal 3 are going to be rotisserie chicken pulled chicken wraps, and those are going to be coming with homemade potato wedges. And then our last meal, super easy, corn dogs, baked beans, and mixed vegetables. Okay? All right, so let's get cooking. So for Bin 2, we're going to be using a pre-cooked rotisserie chicken. I'd like to give you a couple of tips when you buy these at the store. So when you purchase one, make sure that you buy one that has been only hot held for 4 hours or less, okay? After 4 hours, the bacteria can start breeding and multiplying rapidly within here and cause your chicken to go bad. So if it's been out there for more than 4 hours, it should not be, and do not buy it. So always, first of all, always make sure you check your time on that. Secondly, when you bring it home, it's best just to go ahead and pull it right then and there. It's so much easier to pull it, and plus you'll get more yield because you'll have more meat that will come off the bone. So it'll be a lot easier for you to work with and a lot quicker, and you'll also get a lot more meat off of this as well. So you want to just go ahead and pull your whole chicken. So once you get it pulled, you'll want to get it cooled down and refrigerated, and then you'll want to use it within 4 days. Also, one more tip, you'll want to take all of your bones after you get them pulled, pop them in a freezer bag. You can also put any onion peels, celery, any carrot scraps, garlic, anything like that. And you can put them, herbs too, also herbs. You put them in a freezer bag like this, pop it in the freezer, and you can pull this out later to make stock. So pre-cooked rotisserie chickens can make your life a lot easier, but remember 3 things. First of all, pull them while they're hot. Secondly, pay attention to the time of preparation, okay, for safety reasons. And third, be conservative. Save your bones and make stock with them. All right, so we're gonna start meal 1 in Bin 2. That's our seared pork chops with mac and cheese. So while I'm getting the skillet nice and hot to cook off our pork chops, I've just got the macaroni and cheese just cooking according to the regular box ingredients. I've got our pork chops marinated here. I marinated them in a little turmeric and dill. Turmeric is an actual natural anti-inflammatory. So if you have anyone that suffers from arthritis or anything in your family like that, make sure you load up on the turmeric. It can help them with that. We're gonna season them up with a little bit of salt and pepper, and I'm gonna get them in the pan to sear. That turmeric's gonna give them a hint of a yellow color, but like I said, it adds a lot of flavor, and it's a natural anti-inflammatory. So, meanwhile, while my pork chops were searing, I finished off that macaroni and cheese. I'm gonna turn these bad boys over, and then I'm just actually gonna put them in the oven to finish cooking the rest of the way. So we got our macaroni and cheese here now. We're gonna get our dinner rolls ready and our vegetable. All right, so I got an amazing price on this bag of dinner rolls. It's a jumbo family pack. However, it was such a great price, I couldn't pass it up. You only need 8 for this bin, but all I'm gonna do is just pop these out on the sheet pan. And I got a little bit of softened melted butter here. I'm just gonna brush those on there. You could put Italian seasoning, paprika, grated dried Parmesan, anything else on here that you would like, but I'm going to keep it real simple. I'm going to pop these in, and then I'm going to pull the pork chops out. They ought to be good by now. Oh yeah, those are definitely done. You don't want to overcook them. The longer you cook pork, the more it will dry out. So, you know, medium well is fine. You don't have to cook your pork all the way through anymore. So remember that. You don't want to get them too dry, all right? Okay, so to round out meal 1 on bin 2, I just did a regular old can of green beans. Regular canned green beans, warmed them up with some butter, salt, and pepper. Got one of our seared pork chops here, and I'm going to grab one of our dinner rolls. There you have meal 1 on bin 2. Seared pork chops, boxed mac and cheese, green beans, and dinner rolls. Nice and easy. All right, so now one of my favorite meals, homemade chicken pot pie. Okay, so we're going to start by putting a little oil in our pan. We're going to start sauteing our onions and our celery. We'll add some salt and pepper to that. And our poultry seasoning. We're gonna let that sweat down for a while, and then we'll make our roux and then our gravy. Okay, so we're gonna continue on by making our roux. We're gonna add in a couple tablespoons of butter. Let that melt out. Do a 1/4 cup of flour. Just gonna make our roux, and then we're gonna make our gravy. Once we get our butter and our flour incorporated, we're gonna add in just some canned chicken broth. You can do chicken bouillon, canned chicken broth, or the chicken broth in the quart containers, anything, whatever is the cheapest. The chicken broth was fairly cheap. It was on sale, so I just decided to go with it. I'm going to add a can of that in. Switch to the whisk, as you can see. Break that all up. Once that gets nice and thick and our butter and our flour have cooked out to nice and smooth, we'll add in our half and half. And then I've got some potatoes that I have small diced here. Again, peel on. Why peel them? And then I also have our chicken. The pulled rotisserie chicken that we did earlier. So as you can see, our flour is starting to get cooked out of here. It's getting to be nice and smooth. So we're going to add the rest of the ingredients in. We're just going to mix all together and let it simmer for a bit. Okay, so when our potatoes are halfway done cooking, that's when we want to assemble our pot pie, okay? Got to make sure the potatoes are halfway done. That way they get cooked the rest of the way in the oven while you're baking your pie crust. So we're just going to spoon all this in. You want to get a nice deep dish pie pan, okay? That way you know you get plenty of stuff in there, okay? Next, we're just gonna use a store-bought pie crust. You just need one. Save the other one for a nice cherry pie, apple pie, blueberry pie. All right, so you're just gonna unroll this, and then you're gonna re-roll it back on top, and then we're gonna put some slits in it to allow the air to escape, so you get a nice level crust. It doesn't cause it to rise up while it's baking. We'll get that done up, and we'll pop this in the oven. pot pie is working, we're gonna whip up our salad. We're also gonna get some more dinner rolls baking in the oven. Those will go in right before we take the pot pie out, so everything comes out nice and hot. All right, so we're gonna got a head of romaine lettuce here. Now, everything that I'm putting in this salad goes in our wraps for tomorrow night. We already have our chicken pulled for those wraps, so you are more than welcome to cut enough tonight for both of those meals, as I'm gonna do now. However, if you're pressed for time, you can do the wrapped vegetables tomorrow night when you actually make the wraps. But I like to, since I'm making a mess with the cutting board and rinsing everything, yes, always rinse your produce. Because I'm making the mess already, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut enough for both. So that's for our salad. And I'm gonna save this for our wraps for tomorrow night. And then I've got some diced tomatoes I already did, and some cucumbers. I diced some of those up for the wraps. And then I got nice slices for our salad here. So we're gonna kind of fan the rounds around on the salad, sprinkle a little bit of that. That's our salad for the pot pie. And we've got our vegetables ready to go for the wraps tomorrow night. Now, because our pot pie is such a hearty, rich dish, I wanted to serve the salad for the pot pie with a nice crisp vinaigrette. So next I'm going to show you how to whip up a vinaigrette using red wine vinegar, Dijon mustard, and olive oil. So the ratio is going to be 1/3 of red wine vinegar, a couple squirts of Dijon, and then you're just going to pour in the olive oil. And that'll be about 2/3 oil. Shake it up, and voila, you have instant vinaigrette in the squeeze bottle. If you don't have the squeeze bottle, just put it in any container and use a whisk to whisk it together. All right, so we just pulled our chicken pot pie out of the oven. Oh, that's a beaut. And then we have our nice salad here with the crisp vinaigrette. To serve it, just put your finger on top, give it a shake or two, then you can pour it in your bowl to serve it. And then, like I said, you can store the rest of it, just keep it stored in the bottle. And then you also have your homemade dinner rolls. So that is meal 2, bin 2. Okay, so meal 3 on bin 2. We're gonna start making our potato wedges. This is our rotisserie pulled chicken wraps. They're going to be served with potato wedges as their side. So the first thing we're going to do for this meal is get our potato wedges into the oven to bake. You can make these as thin or small as you would like. You can also put whatever herbs that you would like on them as well. My husband loves celery seed, so I'm going to put celery seed, dill, grated Parmesan cheese, salt and pepper on mine. Those will go in the oven to bake, and we'll start making our rotisserie chicken wraps. Okay, so next we're going to make our rotisserie chicken wraps. Something I like to do anytime I'm making wraps, I like to actually put the tortillas in here and warm them up. That way when you go to wrap them up, they're nice and pliable. You can get the stuff down in there. And then also after we get them wrapped, we're going to put them back on to kind of brown as well. Quickly though. You want them after you put your lettuce and stuff in there, you want to just brown them off on both sides quickly, because you don't want your lettuce to start wilting inside the wrap, okay? Now that we have our tortillas done, we're going to start mixing all of our stuff to make our wraps with. So I'm just going to make a couple. There's our lettuce in there. We've got our diced cucumbers, diced tomatoes, There's our chicken, our rotisserie chicken that we pulled earlier. Shred cheddar cheese and ranch dressing, and we're going to mix that all together. So we have our potato wedges are coming out of the oven here. Oh, those look delicious. All right, we have our rotisserie chicken wraps. And then we're just gonna put some potato wedges here. Remember, you can season those up however you like. That's a nice, quick, easy meal. Rotisserie chicken wraps with baked potato wedges. Okay, so last, but certainly not least, we have here meal 4 on bin 2. All right, so that's corn dogs, baked beans, and mixed vegetables. The only thing we have to do is open up a can of baked beans, put the rest of the remainder of mixed vegetables in here, the frozen mixed vegetables. I just put some butter, salt, pepper, a touch of water in there. Take this opportunity to clean out your fridge with any leftover salad, any of the romaine, if you need to do an additional side with this. And then we're gonna bake our corn dogs according to the package directions. Because this meal is so quick and easy, I want to take an opportunity just to mention a couple of things. Okay, this bin only calls for obviously 4 corn dogs, or maybe 6 if you've got a couple of big eaters in your family. So I did find this deal. I've got 16 corn dogs in here. These were $1.50 more than the 6 corn dogs. Okay, so for $1.50 more, I got 16 instead of 6 corn dogs. All of these meals are coming in at under $45. I've yet to purchase one for more than $45. So, this one came in at $39.18. So don't be afraid. If you see a deal where you can get double or triple the amount of your stuff for just a dollar or two more, don't be afraid to take advantage of that, because odds are you'll still be under your $50, okay? And then you can put this, pop it in the freezer. It'll last a long time. Now, I know that you want to keep it tight on your produce and items like that, but something that'll go in the freezer, you could even have these for a snack on hand. So take advantage of those deals when you do run across them. Now, all we have to do for the last of this meal is just to pop these in the oven, bake them according to the package directions, and dinner is done. Voila! All right, so thank you so much for joining me today. Hot Mom's Dinner Club, bin 2. 4 meals, $39.18. You can't beat that. First of all, we started with our pork chop. We rubbed it with turmeric, dill, olive oil, salt, pepper. We are serving it with the boxed macaroni and cheese, just canned green beans, and dinner roll. Next, we had the homemade chicken pot pie. We made the chicken pot pie, baked it, made a salad, a red wine vinaigrette as well. And then you could serve that in the dish with some more dinner rolls as well. Homemade chicken pot pie. Meal 3 were the rotisserie chicken wraps. We wrapped those up in the flour tortilla with lettuce, tomato, ranch, cucumbers, cheddar cheese, served them with baked potato wedges. And then the last meal, meal 4, super quick and easy, corn dogs, canned baked beans, mixed vegetables, done. Can't beat that. 4 meals for 4 people, always under $50. Hot Mom's Dinner Club.